Hey there folks, this is Dan on David's Brain. Welcome back to our ongoing Let's Play of Disco Elysium for the PS4. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, and contribute by Patreon, links in the description at the bottom. Alright, last time, finally managed to track down the cryptozoologist, and got myself a new place to stay that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg every day. Yay! Alright, so yeah, before we head on back to the Whirling and Rags for last night there, let's see if we can meet up with Joyce and also track down that smoker. Scroll between the thighs of a page 3 girl. The Oren du Disco. You, whatever that means. Alright, so yeah, in the meantime, let's go visit Joyce to see if we can run down some time. And then, when Kim's asleep, well, yeah, we'll see if we can try and snag those boots for the guy. Snag the boots for the corpse.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
So you don't want to talk about the murder, but maybe you could tell us something about the murder victim's missing armor?
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art? Art for the, body?
Ugh, alright. Sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell.
Alright, girl in the fishing village. Got it. Thank you.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Let's see. In the dimming light, some things are becoming clearer. You have a keen aesthetic sensibility, and Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious. Let's see. Conceptualization. Let's see how far we can boost him up. Alright. I don't think we're going to be getting any higher than that.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Alright. Let's roll.
Because you see it. Finally. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows. The colors.
Let's see. Let the conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts in your brain.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this. The uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft. Color peeled from the very face of God.
More.
Oh, wall father.
Oh, Wallfather. Let's see. Should I paint it? No. There's nothing to add to perfection. Kim, I must paint this wall. Add even more beauty to it.
He sounds tired of it all. You already have the heavy fuel oil to use as paint. It's red. And Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush. This is on.
Let's see. First, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty.
Sure.
Yeah, I already have the paint. Just need to get a paintbrush from Cindy the Skull.
If you must.
Alright, add even more beauty to the skull. Yep. Let's see. Ask the little girl in the fishing village. Let's see. Have you ever seen an exceptionally beautiful wall in Martinet near the pier and have decided to add it to its beauty artistically? This will make a brush. This will take a brush first. Who would have one? Then paint. Then the art itself.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Cindy, I'm going to need your paintbrush.
For...
Let's see. For art. It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art... But what kind of art are we talking about?
Let's see. And to be honest, I haven't really thought of anything yet, but I'm sure I will. Let's see.
Then you have time to find your own fucking brush.
Cool. No brush then. Not a problem.
You're about to cry internally, aren't you, Piggy? Oh, pathetic. Just give up. Art isn't for you.
Let's see. Attempt to explain your artistic intentions. Oh, this is very, very low, but... I've... They do say the painter paints his own portrait. I'm going to paint a self-portrait, but sort of, you know, from the inside, to show people what it's like.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo.
What if I add some interpretive dance?
I think everyone would rather you didn't.
Okay, I won't do that. Just give me some paint and a brush. I need to do some art.
You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go ahead then. Art it up. Just try not to hurt yourself. And no self-portraits.
Thank you.
Sure, anytime. Us shit artists have to help one another. Besides, I was out of fuel oil anyway.
The right idea is not coming to her. It's excruciating.
RS block. Got it.
You know what you've got in that fuel canister you scavenged from your Kanema? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. Paint and a brush. You're ready to do this.
Alright, catch you later. A paintbrush belonging to Cindy the Skull, an aspiring artist. Its bristles smell nauseatingly of heavy fuel oil, specks of red, orange, and green paint over the aluminum furlude. Fuel oil to paint the wall. Not exactly sure if this is a good idea or not, but...
The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind.
Let's see here. Let's see. What shadow lies there beneath the bright gleam? Draw a 350-year-old pictogram of a human being. Something beautiful is going to happen.
You've spoken. The wall will now silently...
El capo d'arte.
...for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we are supposed to solve.
Fine, Mr. Fine, fine, cranky pants.
Hello again, officers.
Alright, anyways, Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Do you know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with. That's the man who was killed.
Why? How is you looking at the photo tied to the lynching?
Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
Alright, I spoke with the lorrymen of the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Let's see. Oh, wait, where exactly are these eyes located? I mean, like, who's your insider?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation. Subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The
Oh.
words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Let's see. I've already heard about the connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Momentary lapse in faith.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They're meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Yeah, basically Pinkertons.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
For what I've heard, that sounds about right.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
Oh boy, that is not good. Yeah. Maybe the investigations can team up? You know, share resources and intelligence?
Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single, concrete suspect before they indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Seraï's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
Oh boy.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
Okay, so yeah, basically what you're seeing here, or what we're seeing here is, yeah, a bunch of trained psychopaths running around gunning down anybody who looks at them funny.
As I said, a bloodbath.
I can't, this isn't I think the, yeah, no. I think the confrontation is inevitable.
It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless officer of the citizens' militia. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court. A good one, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
What was that about, a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, man, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
What can you tell me about Colonel?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Oh, this is just getting better and better by the second. Anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is charged with coordinating law enforcement activities in complex multinational investigations. Their database is the single largest source of information in the world.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contact the company? Tell them to call it off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Hey, wait a minute. Let's see. Didn't the union guy say something about that?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
And this colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was,
Lely. His service name. Nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
This Lely. Anything else? Nationality? How old would you say he was?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw in the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent. Oranese. Or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Let's see.
If you mean Lely.
Alright, how about the others?
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color? The deceased.
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
That's all right, then. Anything else?
He was 40.
Indeed.
He was, in a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess.
Where are the
I
remaining
only
two
met
mercs
him
now?
once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Alright, let's see. Alright, well, very high. Let's see, for logic. +1, scab leader, on the scab leader murder, bad reply. Clothes didn't fit right. Scab leader built like a brick and didn't pass the background check. Alright, let's see here.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Ah,
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
one must be the goon in an ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates. The scab leader.
Maybe so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a border keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One's probably hiding in a building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
I had another question for
I
you.
hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we now have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Thanks. That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now can you tell me about these tattoos?
She reaches for the photo, takes it, then holds it in her hand. For about half a minute, in silence, she wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What's the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Like a spiritual bungee cord. What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
Let's see. And this man's no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Yeah, and if anything, it just might get their blood boiling.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea. But... yeah, no, it's not... It might be dangerous. Very dangerous. Talking with the scab leader. What to do, what to do. Yeah, no, just... probably should leave it alone.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
Yeah. That's all for the tattoos. Thanks for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Alright, that's all for now. Let's see here. Ask another about the tattoo's possible meaning. Alright, let's go and track down the smoker. Yeah, see if he can give me some answers about this. Alright, just a quick save in case something happens. And yeah, no, that that conceptualization boost, yeah, it's paying off in dividends, drowning in skill points here. Moss cross on these bathroom tiles. Actual moss. Kuno di Rutia is the name on unfinished homework. It's from 2 years ago.
The aging alcoholic is still there, breathing. The air in the room is stale.
What is there to do? We could turn him on his side so he doesn't choke on his own vomit, but he's already on his side. We could take him to Remedy or... They don't do charity for people who are...
The pile of blankets grunts miserably. Silence. Only heat emanates from the sleeping body.
I'm afraid it is.
And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock. bearing the name Maxtor on the sole. 3 toes are poking out of a hole. Maxtor is a gas company. He's wearing free socks from a gas company. They probably came with the bills. A groan rises from the man's throat. Dry.
Well,
The lieutenant's right. There's still plenty to be scared of here. Just not what you thought.
Doesn't look like he's gonna fuck anyone up anytime soon.
no, it really doesn't. This looks very hard to recover from. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon.
A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty.
Can't you tell? It happens to exceptionally committed. Look, he's trying to communicate.
Right, well, there's that. Hmm. 16 days of coldest April. Waves crashing in the darkness. Let's see here. Let's see. The cover features a row of concrete buildings with a monochrome rainbow in the sky. It tells a rather excruciating story about 2 lovers during a period of ethnic unrest in Yugograd. The book has been filed under psychological realism.
Hello again.
Let's see, could we go in there before? I don't know. Nope. 100 tiny feet scurrying beneath the grate. The rats of the city. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy. Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Pour le home laborer jeans. Let's see. +1 to electrochemistry and -1 reaction speed. Although these jeans look worn, the wearer must have had an ass given to them by the mighty Lord himself. That beautiful peach-shaped man-ass has imprinted itself so deep in the fabric, you can't help but wonder if wearing them would start molding your own vague rear side to a more shapely form as well. Well, if anything, I just got myself a nice, some extra pair of clothes. Although, yeah, definitely do not want anything that could give more voice to electrochemistry. I do not like him.
The worn map features.
Nope, never mind. Alright, let's go and collect the testimony from the smoker, and then let's see if we can pass that skill check back at the Whirling in Rags, and also do some finally do some karaoke.
Give me a moment. I'm no one. If you can call it living, it's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't...
And all she gets, too.
Ask away, policeman. The artiste? Nothing I could... She leaves an old lady to her business. Oh, no.
Oh yeah, did I mention that patch 1.2 came out? Yeah, no, that came out, and yeah. Hopefully it fixes some of the voiceover. Yeah, no, I'm expecting the talk with the smoker to go on for quite a while, so hopefully we'll have enough time to catch the karaoke and whatnot. A maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east. You hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. The curtains shift just a little. Someone's watching from within. Alright. There you are.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
We got your hint. Found the key right under that stone.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Honestly, I'm just trying not to screw anything up. I'm trying not to screw anything up.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
By the way, I'm really digging the view here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me. You do.
Alright, I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I've got a lot of questions here.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
Well, that gotta be a whole lot of nowhere.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
There's something about, something so different about it I just can't put my finger on. Or, let's see, he's always leaving. Why is he always leaving?
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery. Different, of course.
Let's see. Let's see. A shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned?
His shirt.
His shirt. Yes.
His shirt.
Yes.
His shirt. No, I don't know why his shirt is always unbuttoned.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
Right. Anyways. Well, it's because the guy might be gay. I mean, I kind of figured that much, but, you know, whatever. Alright, so yeah, interview the Sunday friend. You finally meet up with the mysterious smoker, said the one you really want to talk to is his friend. Yep. Alright, fine. Let's go and deal with him. Alright, betting we're also going to be in for something even weirder here. Alright, let's see here. A quarterly business magazine. Party Dragon Silk Robe. Oh boy, look at this thing here. Become the dragon. This sleazy, silky bathing robe in fragrant blues features a roaring dragon on the front, ready to take off into the night. A red belt has been provided for fastening. It's culturally insensitive, but only for people who are not from Seoul. The Rio Soliites probably don't care. Boy. Well, it gives me +1 to electro drama, +1 to drama, +1 to electrochemistry. Become an addict in a strange bathing robe. An old photo of the same apartment, dated 01. Expensive men's perfume hangs in the air. Samaran conical hat. Let's see, +1 to logic, super logical for a cop to wear this, and negative suggestion, insensitive bachelor party vibes. This tawny cone-shaped hat looks like a beacon of Samaran wisdom, its straw sticking up like antennas. Thank God you can't actually see people's reactions when they see you strolling around in this incredibly insensitive headpiece. Oh boy, so what, did I just stumble into a den of gay racists? Dishes soaked up in a pot. An empty ashtray. Flyers for underground parties. Dates for open lectures at a local university. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
All right.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Hanging? What's a drag? He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Let's see. We'll get to that right after you tell me the story behind the Black Samaran hat.
I got it from the head of the Samaran delegation on my trip to Lomantang. It's made from a special charcoal-colored bamboo. It's an emblem of the formal normalization of our diplomatic relations.
Oh.
That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Alright, you actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Let's see. This is just the break we would look at. Start from the beginning, if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated.
Who were they? Could you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
Yeah, that sounds about right. How many in them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Were any of them huge? Like 200 kilograms huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men? Women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
But we are fairly certain the lady driver was present.
Are you sure at least one of them wasn't a woman?
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember.
What, you couldn't even make out a voice? You know, like an outline? What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened.
What?
It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy!
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call the RCM?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So, let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Those are all my questions. Thank you for your time.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
Alright, what's an official like you doing in Martinet?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat then?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
What is this international community? Let's see.
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
And what do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
What is the price stability?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below. No. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering any of my questions at all. You're just going in
The
circles.
coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Sure, why not?
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
Alright, well, speaking of transparency, I think it's time to make it clear that I'm going to be calling it a day now. Alright, so we'll continue on with interrogating the Sunday friend here, and then finally go and sing some karaoke. Until next time, folks, this is David on David's Brain. See you when I see you. Bye-bye!